Good afternoon. I'm Jimmy from Global Branding Team, and I'm here today with Densu, Head of Energy Storage Australia. Thank you for taking your time to join me today. And the purpose of this interview is to better understand the opportunities and challenges in the regions and how we can further strengthen Jinko's position in energy storage sector. So the first question is, could you share your insights on the current status and trends of energy storage market in Australia?
Yeah, Australia is a very booming market at the moment. It actually comes from the uncertainties and unreliability grid. And with the renewable trend penetration from the past few years has been very, very high, which leads to further uncertainties and unreliable grid and the supply, right? That's pushes for demand on the batteries. For pure solar farms, we're facing a lot of challenge for curtailment and for negative pricing, where battery could actually overcome that. And also there's a emerging FCAS market to provide that stability service to the grid. So we're looking at the growth really from pretty much 0 to now 3 gigawatt and potentially 6 gigawatt annual for the next couple of years. It will be growing with the solar as a combined solar plus battery will become a majority to further adding this to this renewable market. Yeah.
The second question is, what do you think are Jinko's key strength and potential weakness in the energy storage business compared to other players?
Yeah, well, we definitely are there the longest. We've been in Australia for over 10 years. We are utilizing this relationship with our clients. There's a lot of renewable players are coming from this PV development backgrounds. We're utilizing our existing distribution channels, and all of these are supported from the human resources that we have in the local, right? So overall, Jinko Australia have over 20 people, 20 staffs, and now half of them are dedicated for batteries.
Yeah. What about the weakness?
Oh, weakness, well, we're startups, we're new players, we are still a lot of things to learn. We're shaping, we're sharpening our pencils, especially from the product perspective, from the service perspective. We're growing or building the infrastructure from scratch. This took time, but that we believe will be overcoming this for the next years. Yeah.
Yep. Among Jinko's energy storage customer, what's the ratio between PV customers they coming for energy storage sector and dedicated purely energy storage customers?
Right now, we would say maybe 60-70%, but what we do see a trend is a lot of new players that we haven't really been looked after before for battery developers. And there's a whole new sectors of wind plus batteries, hydro plus batteries that we have never touched before. So this is actually a huge market that we need to be exploring.
Mm. And what are the unique advantage of Jinko's CNI Sangiga and utility Santerra product?
Yeah, I think we're in here for a really good timing. The market is just picking up for this large-scale CNI. The smaller scale CNI was always being there, and it can be satisfied with string inverters. But for the large scale, it requires a higher, for example, the FCAS market. That is something very special in Australia, and typically being only played in a large scale, where we can actually manage to have this function to be utilized in a smaller scale in combination with the VPPs, virtual power plants, and other aggregation services to combine, multiple small 100 kilowatts together and becomes a vertical power plant to participate in the FCAS market for the higher returns. Right? So yeah, these works product development with the local EMS that we've been doing put us in a unique position to provide such service.
What is the ratio between CNI project and a utility project in Australia right now? like just an estimated number?
Well, the ratio differences will be huge, but but reality is we need to look at them very separately, right? So utility are there, like I said, 6 gigawatt per year. CNI, if you just number, maybe 200 megawatt, 100 megawatt. However, it is a very special market, and it does have a good margins in the market as the demand and usage are very different. So it's very something when you really need to be focused on.
And when customer ask for reference project and track records, how do we break the ice and build trust at the beginning of the business?
Yeah, that was definitely the most difficult part. The way we're doing is just sharing our knowledge and experience. Well, when the product was not there, you are the product, right? So what we have done is we hired third parties to do a product review based on Australia standard, rather than some of our peers. We're sending the product to Australia and we're finding out, here and there it's not non-compliance. So we show customer that we have this preparation in hand. We already know what are the potential failures that could happen, and we are avoiding it. This is a very important thing that to be presented to customers before they actually make up the mind. And the other thing is we develop our own local service centers, and we bring in the products to be installed in our own warehouse per area to deliver to the market, right? So in there we get to test them, we get to modify the equipment, we get to look into the details of the functions, developing new functions to suit the market before we launch to the market in a more formalized version. Yeah.
From your experience, what product parameters or features does customer prioritize, take care most about?
Well, performance is always the first thing. It's highly depends to your ROI, right? But however, it's been a new market. People are playing it very carefully, especially in Australia. Everyone is here for long run. It's not for quick money. So they really appreciate the work we mentioned that will be done for the compliance, for the safety, and then that extra functions that we'll be adding on. So like FCAS and the very fast FCAS. So they appreciate the work that we've been doing for really having a product that's suitable, that is customized to this market particularly. Yeah.
And in a very competitive market, how can we better convince and win over customers?
Well, every manufacturer or OEM or integrator have their positions, and it all comes with a price. So I think what we always trying to is to win at the technology, to win at the service, and before we can bring our values of OEM, which have a higher or better cost controls for a more competitive price. But that price always comes last. Yeah. So the product and service are there first.
Yeah. For the energy storage project, it's more likely to be a solution provider, and it's a long-term project compared with PV standard products. What do you think is the most important part within the contract for the customers?
Responsibilities, liabilities, we see customers taking this very carefully. We are taking a bit more than we just usually do for supply contracts. And the performance guarantee that end of the day, once you commission the projects, we are here for the next 20 years. So the performance guarantee and the availability, that include availabilities, usable energies, RTEs, all of these are in our contracts to making sure that the products deliver what is promised to.
Are there any strategies from competitors' marketing efforts that you want us to learn from or adapt?
Yeah, what we're doing right now is getting smaller projects in every state in Australia, in major states. So we will have installed some giga from Queensland to New South Wales to Victoria to South Australia, WA. And given the next thing could be doing a roadshow, we'll be doing open days, we're doing training sessions, and across every single states. That's something we'll be doing in the next 2025.
Yep. Thank you, Dan, for attending today's interview.
Thank you.
Thank you.